Gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Goodlatte.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Leonhart, welcome. Wanted to ask you about reports that DEA field agents in southern Arizona were aware of the gun walking being done by ATF. Tony Colson, the DEA's agent in charge of southern Arizona during Fast and Furious, said that many DEA field agents knew that the ATF was walking guns to Mexico, but their supervisors told them to back off when they objected. Have you investigated who within the DEA knew what about Fast and Furious and why they did so little to stop gun walking to Mexico?
Thank you, sir. As I mentioned earlier, those statements, as I understand it from Mr. Colson, were actually recanted. He said he was misquoted, and he's recanted that. We are very excited, and we are waiting on these results from the OIG because prior to Mr. Colson's statements, we were not aware that that DEA was aware, DEA agents in Arizona were aware of the tactics that ATF was using. So the investigation is being done by OIG. That should answer, we've made all our people available. That should answer the question about who knew what from my agency. In the meantime,
did Mr. Colson explain why he would why he made the statements in the first place if he later recanted them?
I have not had any discussions with Mr. Colson. I just know that right after there was a reporting of what he had said, he called our headquarters to say he did not say those things and that he recanted his statements.
So he denied saying them. He didn't say them and then take them back. So what you were telling us?
I heard both. But hopefully the OIG is going to interview him.
So you're relying on the Office of the Inspector General to investigate his statements and whether or not it's true that agents working under him were aware of the fact that gun running was taking place. Because, in fact, we know it was taking place, so it's not all that surprising that some DEA agents might know what was going on with regard to ATF activities in the same region. But at the same time, our greater concern is why supervisors might have told the agents to, quote, back off when they raised concerns about the wisdom of sending guns to drug dealers and others in Mexico that ultimately resulted in the death of a Border Patrol agent. So you will report back to this committee once you hear from the OIG and let us know what actions have been taken to make sure that when people find out that wrongdoing is taking place, that they're freely able to report it to their superiors and then have some interagency discussions between ATF and DEA to say, hey, guys, what are you doing here? Giving guns to people that we're trying to stop from smuggling drugs into the United States is not a good idea.
The OIG report will answer the questions about what our folks knew. The OIG was given the unilateral authority to
Well, we will welcome that. I want to, in my last minute here, I want to get in another area of interest. What assistance does the DEA give to state and local law enforcement to combat synthetic drugs?
Thank you for that question, since synthetic drugs is a new, emerging, very troubling problem. I personally have been working with the chiefs and sheriffs, both of the National Sheriff's Association, but also of the IACP. They are the ones that first brought it to my attention that synthetics was a problem. And so we have given them considerable assistance, both in training classes. We've also offered our chemists.
What additional tools do you need that would make the DEA better able to combat synthetic drug abuse?
Actually, this committee just helped, and that was the scheduling of so many of those chemicals. That was number one. Number two, you have given us, the support, our funding, our agent workforce. That has allowed us to teach our agent workforce about this new and emerging trend. It's also allowed us to teach our state and local counterparts about the emerging trend. And we've been able to expand our investigations now internationally to go after the sources of supply that are actually supplying the chemicals, showing up in our neighborhoods, and then eventually being sold as spice and K2.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Gentleman's
Mr.